it's Kristin and I have a foundation review for you guys today. So I hear you. I heard from some of you that you missed my foundation reviews, and I've just been so focused on using up some foundations in my collection that I haven't kind of branched out, and I know that I need to do that for you guys, so that's what we are going to do today. The foundation that I'm reviewing, and actually I had a sample size, but it was a deluxe sample size from Sephora, like when you put in a little code or something a while back. This is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD, and I have the shade in 117. And I have to say, let's just talk about my skin type very quickly. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, I know this is a repeat for you, but I have dry skin. It is in fairly good condition right now. I'll talk about that a little bit in the demo, but I'm using up some skincare in my collection that I don't love so much, and that has affected my skin a little bit, but I would say it's in fairly good condition. But so that's kind of just gives you a little background on what, what my face is. And the things that I find important about foundation are longevity and coverage. I really like a good coverage foundation, and I really like longevity. So before we get any further, let's go ahead and cut to the clip of me applying the foundation, and then we'll come back and talk about it. All right, so my face is already primed with the Bioderma Sensi Bio AR Anti-Redness. That is the one that I'm using currently. I find it to be a little moisturizing than some of my other ones. And then I'm just going to put a few pumps. It's hard. I have the mini, as I mentioned, and so it's hard to sort of tell you how many pumps you would actually use. I have 4 little mini pumps going on my hand here, so I'm just going to dot it. Actually, probably should have only done a couple, so I can kind of do half of my face here. That's all right. I'll just try not to get it on my clothing. And then I'm using the Smith number 115 foundation brush. I really like this brush. I've been using it for the past week or so. It's always weird to try to do just half your face. All right, so you can see while it doesn't cover up any of my little sort of dots there, it does really even everything out versus this side versus this side. Now, I will say that my face is not in the best condition that it's ever been in. I'm trying to use up some skincare that's not my normal skincare, and I don't love it, but I'm trying to use it up. So, but you really can see, I think, this is a pretty stark difference from this side to this side. I'm just going to go in with another sort of layer. I never know what to call that whenever I do these. And just beef up the coverage a little bit. You can see. I mean, I really like it. I'm so surprised. All right, we're just gonna make myself match over here. So thankful that it's starting to get lighter in the morning. I mean, it's not yet, but it should be a little bit lighter than it is right now. It's just kind of a dreary day. It's a spring day. And then sort of the second layer on this side. You guys see how nicely this brush works? I like an array of foundation brushes in my collection, different types. All right, so hopefully you can see that really evened everything out. Definitely is a, I would say, medium edging towards full, but I've tried before, even if I do a little bit more right there, it won't completely cover up the redness that I have on my skin right now. But I use a little concealer or something, but at any rate, that is what it looks like. So as you can see, the coverage on this foundation is very good. It's better than I thought it was for some reason. I had this foundation before they reformulated it. So if you maybe are curious about that, there used to be the Makeup Forever HD, and then it was reformulated and brought out as the Ultra HD. So the original foundation, that never really worked for me. I would always get funny little red blotches on my face, and I heard from another gal who used to make videos, she doesn't anymore, her name is Krista, that the same thing would happen to her. So when this came out, I was really leery of trying it, but I thought, well, if, you know, when I could get the point perk, I thought, you know, instead of paying money for it, I would just go ahead and try that. So This doesn't do that to my face, fortunately. So whatever they changed in it changed that, and I really like the coverage. I think it is buildable to kind of a medium plus. I don't think you can get to full without it looking a little bit cakey, but I really do like the coverage. And it's one of those foundations where you just add a little bit of concealer or the It by Redness, and it gives you a perfected, you know, face. Now, for the sake of the video, all I did was add under eye concealer. I didn't add any other concealer, not even the normal things that I would put on my face or the Bye Bye Redness. So this is just what it looks like with obviously some bronzer and blush on. But I do really like it. Now, so for coverage, normally, let's back up a second. Normally in my foundation reviews, I have a 5-point system for 5 different categories. Because I don't have the actual packaging of the product, I will be only going with a 4-point system this time because I can't really judge the packaging when I don't have the full package. So, all right, so for coverage, I'm going to give this a 0.75. And then the way that it states it on the website, it's kind of, it says a medium to buildable. And I would say you can build on it, but you can't get buildable to full or anything. So that's why I'm going to give it a 0.75, which is still a really good grade, in my opinion. The next thing I want to talk about is the finish. I really like the finish of this foundation. It really kind of I noticed this again last night before I took it off. At the end of the day, it really does have sort of a glow to it. And you can kind of see, hopefully you can see, I'm looking in the viewfinder. It has a little bit of a glow to it, and not here so much. This is added glow, but on my forehead. But it's not like when you touch it, it's not like a greasy glow. It's just like a natural glow, and I really do like that about it. I was surprised because I remember the last formulation of this being a very sort of flat. You know, it may have photographed well, but it really was very kind of a flat finish to me. So I didn't like that at all. So for finish, I'm going to give it a full point because they have really corrected that, I think, in this reformulation. Longevity. Okay, so I've tried this a bunch of different ways. I always try with, in case you're curious, I always try with primer, without a primer, you know, with a powder, without a, I tried a bunch of different ways. But generally with just a primer and just the foundation itself, no powder over the top of it, I start to see breakdown after about 8 hours. That's really good. I prefer a long, you know, to be a little bit longer than that. And I think they claim for it to be just a little bit longer than that. I looked it up because I was curious. They don't actually claim for it to, they just say it contains hyaluronic spheres to ensure comfortable wear on all normal dry combination skin types. It lasts all day, leaving a natural looking finish. So it doesn't actually say how long, but I like a little bit more longevity out of my foundation than that, so I gave it a 0.75, but again, it's still really good. And if you add powder over top of it, like when I had the Smashbox powder foundation over the top of it, or the Chanel, today I do have some Chanel loose powder over the top of it, you will get, I'll get almost 10 hours before I see a little breakdown. So I really am impressed with this one. As you can tell, I'm very impressed. The color range, it gets a full point for me for color range. It has 40 shades. I mean, hopefully you can find a shade in there that matches you. I am stunned that the one that happened to come in, you know, I think I had 3 or 4 options to choose from. 117 really is a very good match for me. I think that in the summer, it might be just a tad light, but as you can see, I don't have any sort of bronzer anymore. It's a really good match for me. So at any rate, I was really pleased that the shade happened to match. I had to cut off my ramble there. I'm sure I went on a little bit. This product sells for $43 at Sephora. I'm sure you can get it on Makeup Forever's website as well. Where I got my information and where I got the sample from was Sephora. So all in all, that totals up to a 3.5 out of 4 points. Again, I don't have the 5th point. If I could, I would guess by looking at packaging, seeing what other people have said. Obviously, I've seen lots of people talk about this and review it. I would probably give it the full point because it looks like a very nice with a pump and that sort of thing. But I just feel like it's not fair for me to grade it on something I've never seen. Well, I've seen it, but you know what I'm saying. I just am more impressed with this foundation than I thought I would be. I will go ahead and, you know, use up the sample. Is it one I would repurchase? Probably. I'm not going to at this point though, because I actually need to do kind of a declutter of my foundations and use up some more and that sort of thing. I'm trying not to buy all the foundations in the world. Foundation just is one of my things. I really like foundation. I'm always wanting to try something different, but I'll be holding off on this one for now, but it absolutely is one that I would buy a full size of because I really like how it functions. I'll be curious to see, or I would be curious to see, I'll be out of it by then, how this functions in the summer for me as well. And I'm curious if you have oily skin, what kind of your, if you're watching this, what kind of your experience was with this. You can list that below. That I think that would be helpful. So I think that's everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. On the rest of my face, I have the Giorgio Armani cheek fabric in number 506, which looks like this. And then on my eyes today, I have the Giorgio Armani Icicle Quad in number 12. I have this shade all over the lid, this in the outer corner, this kind of in the crease then with a little Blanc type from MAC. And then I have this beneath my lower lash line and this a little bit on the edge of that. And I think that's everything except, oh, on my, as the highlight, the delightful highlight, I have the Clio compact that I showed you guys in my haul, which looks like that from Club Clio. And this is the highlighter, art highlighter in Pearl White. And then on my lips, I have this side of the double-ended of the Nude 6, the shade in Whisper. All right, I think that is everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and in everything that you do, be beautiful. Bye.